Okay, let me get this lined up. Okay, so we're working still trying to get through this speech on the Sharkavonos on page Shim Mem Tes. So we got the number Kuf Samach Daled there, and we're reading the Rav. But Talmud Dabrachu, now he's talking about the reason why the Nook pleads to Zeranpin not to let her Mokin, which enter into him from the source from which they originally came, and then let them disappear the same way that the Mokin of the Rosh Zeranpin was, that she asked that they be placed next to her heart, to his heart, her Rishimo. But Tamadavar whom if ne rove abba sheyesh li imach. And the reason why she says is because I have such a tremendous amount of love for you, with you. That she's strong like love, powerful like love. And she's not able to separate. She needs him so badly that she's not able to separate from him. From you completely. He said this is what she's saying. So therefore, by leaving this seal of mine, which is her Rishimo, next to your heart, so then from there you can send me, well, it's not the light itself, it's not the Rishimo itself, but it's in Ha'ara from there. Masha Ain came in the Stalach Yoser Lamala, which is not the case if it goes further up. In other words, it finds its way out of Zeranpin. I think that's what he means. So let's see what he says in number Kuf Samach Dalad. He says, V'atam shalonok mevakeshes min azasha yasim as ha'chosim libo, that she should place her seal, meaning once again that Rushimo, by his heart. Umachmas rov abush yesh lokim zalus, because of the tremendous amount of love that the Nook has for Zeranpin, or he says Kamos, so he said, so with Zeranpin. So if it would appear Shakaz of Kusha, Nok Omer's the Zasha, Kevin Sha'aza Kamos Alva, that she's very, I don't know what Aza means here, but they're using the phrase, it means strong, or her love for him is for very strong. The Kevin Shakach Gadol Ahavis Ahavasi Alecha, since I have such tremendous love for you, towards you, needing you. I'm not able to completely leave myself from Zera Anpin, but Meshach Halayla over the course of the nighttime. So then she says, therefore, let me see where I'm at. ולכן אני מבקשת שתישאר על ליבך את החסם של הרשימו שלי, so that you should leave my rishimo next to your heart. Or on your heart, he says, on your heart. So since now the chosim remains at the chest of Zeranpin, al libo, which is the same place where his heart is located, az yukol hazal, lahamshech l'nok ha'aram in the rishima shalal, so then he can send from her own rishimo, which understandably originally came through that opening in the chaz of Zeranpin and came from him. But he comes back and he says, like, bring it back and let it shine on me, but Meshach Lila over the course of the night. Afilu Kishim is Stalek, Arushimo, and the Nook, even when the Mishimo is gone from the Nook. So he said, Masha Ein came im Nistalek, Yosa Lomala, Masha Ein came be im Nistalek, Arushimo Lomala, Menechaza Dezasha Oz Azalo Yuchul Lawyer Nook. Now, I'm not sure why he says that, let's say that the Rishima went to the neck, went to the head, why it wouldn't be able to shine onto her? And I'm assuming that the reason is because of the opening that's in the back of the chest of Zeranpin, that's a natural place where Shefa it goes to the Nook. I'm assuming that's the reason. So let's go to number Kofi and Hay, but now we're reading at the top, we're reading the words of the Rab himself. V'nimzik yikafizeh, shabalaylahu zaman hamayet azar anpen v'nok hamatas. That this is the time when the Zohar the Nook they lose their Rishimo. And as a result of that, it causes them to become minimized. They become minimized from their greatness. So now it comes back, and the Zeranpin is only going to be 6 zeros. And she's only going to be a dot, back to where she was when she began. But his order so that's the reason why there's no light in the partsufim which ultimately feed us. So he says this is the reason for the his orders of Balayla Chamasha Ein Ke Bayom. Ki af acha tefillah shemistalkim hamochim ve'ein nishar raka rishima bilbad. So during the daytime, in the stalkos of the mochim, there's only rishima left over. Im kol zecha ve'ein mismatim. But with all of this, they don't become minimized. Havin the sharan bigdulasa, but they remain in that state of godless. Al yedei osa rishima. The rishima has the ability to be able to keep them going in their stature. And that was the reason why we said you could put on tefillin during the daytime. What it writes another place, after the tefillah they become minimized. It doesn't mean to say that an actual miut. But since only the rishimo is left, that's what's called miut. So he said, but they remain in the state of actually 10 spheros the whole day long. Masha Ein Ke Balayla, which is not the case at night time. For Oz Balayla, because of Oz Balayla, he omeres alav simeni kachos, and that's when she says to him, make me this seal. He says, in other words, take my seal to your heart. Nimsas he love. So therefore, we see that at nighttime she's actually greater than him. The feet Rishimo Shalamochem Shalom Nistala the Gamri, he completely and totally loses his Rishimo, and he has nothing within himself now. A Rishimo the Mochem Shalom, but her Rishimo Nishar Kaima Bechazer Shalom Shahu Al Libo Umeir Ba Misham, and it shines onto her from there. So let's see what the typical Kavanos has to say about this as we move along here, and we are in number Kufa and Aleph. Here it is right here. So he said, the Nimsa ki kafi zer b'nimsa shadafi mashin is boyer hochel. He says, Shabalayla Nistala Afa Rishima Meroshechem Shalzun, they both lose their Rishimos, they leave them. And this causes them to become smaller. And since now we see that they become minimized, then he goes back into the level of kindness. That is his mochin that were in his chabad leave. That's all. The Moku, which represents Malchus. The Rak Besod Nakuda Tachas Achas Bilvad. The Kasher Yesh Mochim, Oz Huzaman Shal Rachamem. And since now that you have Mochim inside of her, let's just see this again. He says, therefore, there is a certain amount of Rachamim. That's a time of Rachamim. Akasher Mistalkim Mochim, he's the man shall dinner, but the opposite is true. When she has Mochim, or he or she has Mochim, this is the time of Rachamim. But if they're not there, who's the man dinim? Became Shabalayla Mistalkim Mochim, the Chain Abalayla, who's the man his order is a dinim. So that's the reason why dinim becomes more powerful. But during the daytime, it's a different story. Whereas we say Shagam Achar Tefilos Shachris, Mistalkim B'Mochem Mezun, and we see that the Mochim leaves Zun, B'Shar Shalos Hayom, and the rest of the hours of the day, Nishbar B'Zun, Rak HaRishimo Shalamochim, only remain in Zun, the Rishimo Alamochim. But the Chora Yistalkos Amochim Chosets Rika the grown Shagam Abayom who Tehe his order the Zadinim. So even though you have that, so therefore you're going to see. Let me see. But the Chora Yistalkos Amochim Chosets Rika the grown Shagam Bayom Alku his order the Zadinim. You would have a lot of dinim. In calls Zecher Kevin Shal Rashima Neshar Baroshim Shal Zun. So he says that the reason why the dinim don't overtake Zun is because the Rishima was there. The Fichuch Hem Enemis Ma'atim Hagan Shala'ach Tefilah Hem Chosin Yos Ach Ba'ach. Even though after the Tefillah, let's just get the sequence right, that after the Tefillah they go back into the position of Ach Ba'ach, not just a defensive position, but nonetheless, after the Philo Aim Chuzin Yos Ach Ba'ach, but that Rishimo is still there. Ach Aim Medayin Nishardim B'midas Gedulasa B'meshach Shal Kol Shal Siyom, but they remain in their greatness, in their full size, in their adult size, through the whole day long. So he's like a Mikoyach Rishimo Shalamochim Shenisha Bezul B'meshach Kol Hayom. A Masha Kasav Rav B'Makam Ach, and now the Rav comes along and he says in another place. So that's correct. But it doesn't mean that they no longer have the full 10 spheres, depending on how you count. But the explanation, so we want to say that it's apparently the Rishima was an essence in some way that's able to sustain this, but it's just a Rishima. So relatively speaking, since you're dealing with not the full Malchim, but only Rishimo, the Malchim, therefore this is called a Hismatis. The Hainu, relatively speaking, the Hainu of Erik Lizman, the Tefillah Shom Yesh Malchim Gemurim Lazum. Akim calls that, but he says with all this, nonetheless, Shemistalkim became Hamochim, became Ondim Ach Ba'ach, and now they're in a defensive position, and there's definitely a Hismantis of the light that's within it. Haim Nisha'arim Big Dulasa, but nonetheless they remain their full height, Machmas of Rishima Shenishabah. Avach Balayla came Shemistalak Afa Rishima Shalamocha, but then, when that leaves, Bechain Oz Hazun is Ma'atim Mamish, then they Mamish become minimized, smaller, much smaller. Came in Shabalayla Mistala Gama Rishina Minanuk. The Fichach Anuk Mivakash Balayla Minazah, so therefore she is requesting from Zah, she's beseeching him, Simeni Kachosim Alibacho, place me as a seal on your heart. That is, I am called a seal now. That's what she calls herself, a chosim. Behind the Shiisha Rishima al Libo Shalazer Anpin. So this is a very interesting idea that should remain on the heart of Zer Anpin. Below Yisalik Rishimo Shalal Lachzop of the Makom Lagama to go back to its place completely. Now let me see how I pick this next part up. That was number Kuftsadi Aleph. Okay, so that was that. So so this is where she says to him, Semeni Chaysim, and says, so then we're over here on number Kuftsadi base. So that we see that she's greater than him. She has a quality that is greater than his. So this is her greatest type in relationship to Zeranpin. So he said, Nistalik of Rishima Menazal, the Rishima leaves Zeranpin Lagamri, Bahamad al Roshuk Lamal. Aval the Rishima Shalamochim Shalanuk, La'ach Shistala B'manu. So he says, La'ach Shistala B'manu. Who lo nistala begamri. So let me see where he says aval arishima shalamokum shalanuk la'achar shistala b'manu. They don't leave her completely. But who lo nistala begamri eluku nishar kayim b'chazer shalazer anpin al libo. And the last one is the mayor bo misham v'azam mayor min arishima shal libo shebechazer shalo al hanuk. Okay. Now we get into a place where there is no peerage. So he says that just read. We have a couple of minutes more. I'd like to devote to this and see how far we could get with it. Yidays take it for the Chidus Alayla, the Stalaka Rishima Shalova Shaloka Nizkar, Gabur Nizbarvitz Layla Be'inyan Shkibas Alayla, Ki Zivug Shal Chatzos Alayla is with Leah. Lo in Rachel, who is the Nikras, Nuk Vizeranpin, Amitis, she's the Akaras Abayas, Visham, Biarno Indians at a who. So now we're explaining how this works. Hine Rachel Nuk Vidizah, Yesh Ba Yud Sphira, she has 10 spheros. V'chasphira Chayud, that is the number 10 one, Shabbat. Her question is which one is that one? He Shorsh Atzmos Shabbat. This is the secret of her essence, or this is the root of her essence. Ve'ini Yechola Lihis Arab Lihis Chaber in Leah, so she's not able to join together with Leah. Amna Matesha Spheras Acheras, but besides that one root of Sphira, the other ones, Haboim Lo Al Yederatel Sepis, the tenths, the other 9 spheros are added on to her. They're part of the first one. Elohim Yecholas Lihis Arab Lihis Chaver parts of Leah. Now these 9, because they're not the root of Rachel, they're able to join together with Leah. While Yedei Cain Nigdalas Leah Acher Chatzos Lila. So therefore we see that Leah is able to grow after midnight. Bakol Orach Zer Anpin Kula, so she becomes equivalent to the size of Zer Anpin. And how does this happen? Ayudei Ela Atesha Sphere Shalokachas Merachel, the 10 sphere, the 9 spheres rather, that she takes from Rachel. Rishon Kasabnuki, who's Safik actually. So there it was written, or we wrote that it's really a doubt by me. I'm really not sure about this. Im Shematim Morizal. Shatesha Sephiras the Rachel Haim Yordi Belila Be'olam Abriya. I really don't remember if the other 9 go down in Olam Abriya. Oh, Im Shemati Shachasphira Hayud, that is this one. He Hayuredis. Now, if it was only this one, then joining the other 9 to Leah makes better sense. But I'm going to tell you this, how this goes, and there's not going to be any doubt about it. Bedaki Shnei Sephiros Ela Shemati Memorizal, the Shneihem Haim Amitius, and they're both true. By Inyan Hu Be'ofen Zaki Bechetzech Alayla Yeredis Sephira Hayud, the Rachel Be'olam Abriya goes down into Olam Abriya. Behechel Zion the Elyon in the seventh, which is the top Hechel in Olam Abriya Hanikra Hechel Kachi Kachin Debriya Kanaida. Vomedesham ad or Haboker, and it stands there until the morning time comes. He said, "V'kol Osa Lila Yosheves Mezamera the Korel Zer Anpin." She sits and sings out, calls out to Zer Anpin. Says so, Elokim Al Demiloch. God, don't be Al Demiloch. Al Tachrosh Al Tishko Kale. So she's saying, please listen to me. Don't be like a dummy to me. Don't be deaf. And so don't let him quiet down. This God quiet down. Kediska bepashas lechlavon, but dape vavom and olive. Latesha spheres acheros. They mischavrim in parts of Leah. They join together with Leah. But Yudei came negdalas bekol kuma zeranpin. So then you see that she grows to the whole size of zeranpin. Minish iron kach or haboker, and she remains that way until the morning. Ubeor Haboker, Miss Ma'atis Leah, then Leah comes back and minimizes again. Rishon Bilvad. So she remains only at her first root. She stands behind Zeranpin, in her normal place. So now what about those 9 spheros? Haim Yordas, the Mata, Gam, Haim, Ba'olam Abriya, they also go down into Bria. The Hischaver im Ozer Hanakuda Atzmi shall Rachalim, in order to join together with the essential Nakuda that we have of Rachel. Sheyarda Bechatzis Alayla, which we said that at midnight goes down in Olam Abriya. Vaz Ozer Hanakuda Hayud Sheyarda Sham Bechatzis Alayla. So then that 10th one that went down at midnight. He ola ata betzilus. It goes down into Atzilus. The fisha betachila dachasa also Leah. The beginning, Leah pushed her away. Let's see if we can get this last part in here. So he said, because the fisha betachila dachas also Leah pushed her away. Shehoisa mispashatet v'lokechet b'makoma, because she spread down and she took the place of Rachel. Keniska sham b'makoma. That's all discussed. V'atech b'shechot b'vachat misaatech Leah keniskar. Ain't it deicho, so that she's not been so. She's already been pulled back up. In other words, she's no longer extended. Ain't it deicho, so now she's not pushing Leah anymore. So let's just finish this last paragraph here. It says, Gam tam acher yesh b'zeh, v'vuhu al yedech b'esek HaTorah, when we're learning. She'oskim yisrachu kamim acher atzos v'layla, that is the Torah that we learn after Chatzos. Ein mosifim bal koach, they bring more strength to her. V'hi ola mat mat, she goes up little by little. Until we find that when the morning light comes, Gamraki la'alos b'chatzilus of all the Tesha spheres, the yard of the mat b'bia k'nizker. That's a little bit of a steer on that one. So then we're going to stop right here. We went a little long on it, but I needed to get through this piece. And so this is, I think, fundamental to our understanding of tefillin, but I'm not sure why. So we'll find out.